Hello there! Welcome to We Are Crafted in His Image. I am here today with a little Thankful Thursday. Every month I try to make a little gift for those who have purchased from my Stampin' Up! Store over the last month. And this is what I have made for my customers for this month. Let me put this in autofocus so I'm going to leave it on here and zoom in. Let it zoom in for you. Let's see if you can see. Whoops! It's a cute little keychain. It says you are amazing. Has a little heart charm on there. But yeah, this is what I made for all of my customers that purchased from me last month. And I'm going to show you how I did this. Pretty easy to do. It's just a little bit time consuming. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to zoom this, put this back into manual focus so that it doesn't go in and out on us. And let me get out some of the supplies that we're going to need. We're going to start with shrink plastic is what you're going to need. Now this is some I just ordered off of Amazon. This is just this particular brand. There are lots and lots of brands. You can get that at most craft stores. Most of the craft stores around you can find them. And it should have one side should be textured of some kind. If it's not, some of them are completely clear and very shiny, and if it doesn't have a texture on it, what you're going to need to do is take a sanding block of some kind, and you're going to need to really rough up the surface of one side. I would go this direction and then go this direction and then even a little bit in circles to get lots and lots of texture on there so that the ink has something to grip onto when you stamp it. I am going to use StazOn ink. And it will actually stamp on the shiny side as well. However, you get a little bit better image, and the colored pencils will work a little bit better as well on the textured side. So I am actually going to grab, I think, a solid sheet of paper real quick. I need to put something underneath so you can see this better. You don't have, I know it's clear, but then you don't have all the lines behind you. And I'm going to go ahead, and this is just a scrap piece that is left over from doing this project earlier. I'm going to go ahead and get out my StazOn ink. Now I have tried this with other inks, but they tend to bleed into the little cracks and crevices, and it doesn't dry as well. So StazOn is the ink of choice here. However, I really prefer not to use StazOn ink with my photopolymer stamps. It's not the ink itself as much as the cleaner that can cause some damage to it. So as soon as I finish stamping this, I am actually going to pause the video so I can go and clean my stamp right away. And that requires me going to my sink, and so I will have to pause so that I could do that. But I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. And StazOn ink tends to dry up on your pad very quickly, so I do recommend when you buy a StazOn pad, buy yourself a refill so that you can re-ink this period. And I only put a little bit of ink on it at a time as I feel like I'm going to need it. I don't re-ink the whole pad like I would a normal pad, because I know that the next time I go to use this, I'm probably going to have to re-ink again. And then I'm just going to stamp this near the bottom. And I do like that this is kind of sticky, so then I like to flip it over and just kind of press down and make sure that it is really well stuck down all over the place, and then peel that off. And there we have it. And I'm going to show you really quickly, this is a StazOn cleaner that I like to get it on this right away, rub it, and then I go to the sink and I just use hand soap and clean that off really quick. So I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back, and I do like to, after I have cleaned the StazOn cleaner off, I still like to come in with our Stampin' Mist and give this another good clean with that, mostly because our Stampin' Mist also has conditioners in it that will help keep the stamp from drying out and cracking later on. So I like to just do that whenever I use my StazOn cleaner. And there we go. That's ready for the next time I will need to do something. Now, here is the one that I just stamped. However, before I do any coloring, I want to make sure this is really, really dry. So I'm going to set that one aside and pull out one that I stamped earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and color this in using our watercolor pencils. You can use regular pencils. You can use, I've heard that you can use markers. However, I don't think they would, I don't know how well they would stick on here, and the blends as well. So I just have always used watercolor pencils. I really like them. And so that's what I tend to use. And I'm going to go ahead, let me see. I think I want pink on here. And you see, because this is nice and dry, I don't have to worry about it. If I tried to do this on the one I just stamped, those little black dots would be smearing all over the place right now. So I'm just going to color this in. And you can come in with the blender pen and smooth this out if you want to. However, once you shrink it down, it's so tiny that you really don't notice all of those scribbly marks from the color, from it being a pencil. There we go. Let's see. Let's get my gray. Is this one gray? Yep, basic gray. Color in my scissor. I still don't know if this is a cold that I'm dealing with or if it's allergies, but it's definitely got me very congested. Throat's a little bit sore. There we go. And I think a little bit of gray right there on my pencil. Let's put a little yellow on the pencil. And I think this piece of paper back here is going to be yellow. Then let's see, let's do some red on the top of our pencil. And then I think this marker is going to be red. I just like the random bright colors. Oh, where's my black? Because Stampin' Write markers have a black barrel. So let's color that in black. There's another marker. Now technically our re-inkers, the lids are black as well, but I liked it better with the lids being colored. I did another one where instead of doing the black, I did it in color. So let's see, let's come back with our yellow here. We're going to do a yellow re-inker bottle. And I'm going to do the lid yellow as well. And then actually what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to come in with a little bit of white. I know we can't see that very well. I'm going to do white here and here. And then I'm going to scribble just a little bit of yellow over that. And it'll just make it a light yellow. And then let's do, oh, this is going to be white as well. I don't think I did the white on that one. I forgot about it. Almost need to grab a dark piece of paper so I can see if I got all this white on here very well. Okay, let's see, let's get some teal blue in here. Let's do a teal blue ribbon. I'm really trying not to clear my throat constantly. I apologize. I know that can get very annoying to listen to. There we go. Try to do this quickly. I want to show you a trick on cutting it out. That's why I'm getting to this point here. And then I think we have a teal blue re-inker. And I'll do the same thing, just a little bit of blue on the label. And then let's go with dark blue for our, I guess that's a notepad. Almost done, almost done. Okay. So that's that. Now we need to go ahead and cut this out. And so I'm going to grab the die that I used, or the, yeah, is this the right one? Yes. That is the correct one. And the nice thing, again, about this particular, I'm trying to get my big shot over here, my die cut machine over. Here's my plates and my cutting plates. Where's my top? Okay, So I really don't like doing this on the camera. It's just kind of hard. But put that in there. Got all my pieces, bottom parts ready. Yes. And then what I'm going to do here is flip this over upside down, because I want to make sure that the very edge of the stamp comes to the very edge of my die. Just like that. And then I'm going to use some washi tape. Tape that on there. Let me double check, make sure it hasn't shifted. Good. And then when you put it in, you don't want to put it straight on. You want to have it on an angle. And run that through. There we go. Get that out of the way. And peel this off. There we go. So now one thing I did find is the edges of it, when you cut it with scissors this doesn't happen, but when you use a die the edges can be kind of sharp, and even when it shrinks down it will have this roughness to it. So I like to take just an emery board and kind of go over that. However, don't really use your finger to test it very well because it can cut you. So I'm just gonna rub across there and just guess that I've got it rubbed well enough. And then we're going to shrink this down. Now you, oh actually no we're not quite yet. Let me find the other one that I did. Where did it go? I can't find it. There it is. On this one here, if you can see how tiny my little hole is, and the size of that one is a little bit bigger. I don't know, you probably can't see that. But it's very small because I did not make a bigger hole. I used the hole that was on the die, and that just made it come out a little bit too small. So what I'm going to do, and see there's the hole there, is I'm just going to use a normal regular hole punch, your standard hole punch that you get, and just stamp or punch right over that to make the hole a little bit bigger. There we go. That'll make it a little easier to connect this to something else later. Now to shrink this, you can use our heat tool, our embossing tool. You can use it to shrink it down. However, you want to make sure you have something very heat safe underneath it, and you want to do it on, you even want to have that, you just want to make sure whatever's underneath it isn't going to get ruined by the heat. For instance, I have a 12 by 12 porcelain tile that I usually use when I'm using my heat tool. However, one time I had that on top of one of my cutting mats like this, which is not heat resistant, and even the heat going through the tile ended up warping my mat. So you're going to want to make sure if you're doing it on something that is very, very heat safe. And I also find that sometimes when I am doing the heat tool, that they don't shrink down evenly. For instance, you can see these were cut the exact same shape, but because one heated up more, it just heated unevenly, and so it ended up shrinking, and one is a square and one's a rectangle. So just keep that in mind if you're using the heat tool. I do prefer to just use my oven, and you just have to follow the instructions that come with yours. Mine, this one here was 325, and it took about 3 minutes, and it shrunk down. And when it shrunk down, it ended up looking like this right here. I'm just gonna zoom this in. I should have done that earlier so you can actually see a little bit better. There we go. Can you see that? So yeah, it ends up shrinking down to this size. And then what I need to do now is I need to put a clear coat on it. And I need to find my piece of paper that I used earlier to do that with. Well, we'll get another one out. There we go. What I'm going to do now is actually attach this to here just so that it doesn't move around on me. There we go. Just gives I don't have to hold on to it while I do this next step. And the next thing I'm going to do is just actually take clear nail polish and just brush that over it. And you could do a couple coats if you want to. Sometimes after I've put the clear polish on at this point, I will take a little bit of glitter and sprinkle a little bit of really fine glitter on top of it, because if you know me for very long, you'll know that I like my glitter. However, for this one, I just left them plain. These ones didn't need the glitter. So there, and that just seals in your design, keeps it from wearing out faster. And then you're just going to need to let this dry. The nail polish will naturally level itself out. And yeah, and then that would be ready to attach and turn into a keychain or whatever you want to turn it into. I have a couple of finished ones here, but I have this one here. This is the one that I finished earlier. And there are a couple of ways to do this. If you don't have needle nose pliers or anything, you can use, these are split rings, these are called. And they actually, you know, the kind that your keys come in, you can just like split it open and run it around in there. These ones require really no tools at all other than maybe your fingernails. But I'm going to use, this was just a little keychain kit. You can get them at most craft stores, and actually came with the keychain and some jump rings already in the kit. And I'm just going to use my pliers here and open up my jump ring by turning it sideways. I'm going to put this on. Oh, I forgot. I need to grab. These are now retired. These were our Playful Pets trinkets, but I have a bunch left over, so I thought these would be really cute to put on here, the little heart. So I'm going to stick one of the little hearts on there, and then the keychain, and then close it up. Making sure to go straight across like this. You don't want to pull your jump rings open. You want to twist them side to side. Whoops, let's get that in there. There we go. And I have 2 finished little keychains. I have a bunch more, but those are the 2 there. So yeah, this is my little Thankful Thursday project. I just thought this was a fun stamp to do, to give to my customers that like to do some crafty stuff. And what do you think? I think that'd be kind of a cute little keychain to stick on their keys. So, oh, and one other option is to use these type right here, where you could actually just clip this on, or you can even put that onto the split ring that's on here, either way. So this would also be another way to attach that on there. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope my customers are going to enjoy these. And until next time, God's love and blessings to you. Bye.